What if the Vietnam War wasn't just about stopping communism? The real story might surprise you. Have you ever wondered what the real reason behind the Vietnam War was? Was it truly about stopping the spread of communism, or was there something deeper at play? Many people think the United States fought in Vietnam to keep communism from spreading in Southeast Asia. But when you look closer, the story gets more complicated. It might have been just as much about US politics and pride as anything else. The Vietnam War started during a time when the world seemed divided between two big ideas. On one side was communism, and on the other was democracy and capitalism. The US government saw communism as a serious threat. They believed if one country in Southeast Asia fell to communism, others would follow. This idea was often called the domino theory. So the US stepped in, hoping to stop communism from spreading beyond Vietnam. At first, this seemed like a clear goal. But as the war went on, things became more confusing and difficult. The fighting lasted much longer than many expected. The United States found itself stuck in a war that was hard to win, but even harder to leave. Why? Part of the answer lies in politics and pride. American leaders worried that if they pulled out of Vietnam, it would look like defeat. They feared that leaving would send a message of weakness to the rest of the world. More than that, they worried about how the American people would see them. The idea of losing a war without a clear victory was frightening to many politicians. They wanted to show strength and determination, no matter the cost. This fear kept the war going. Decisions were made not just based on what was best for the people of Vietnam or even the United States, but on how things looked on the global stage. The need to protect the country's image sometimes mattered more than the original goal of stopping communism. This made the conflict more about American pride than about fighting an enemy. The war also caused a lot of pain and confusion at home. Many Americans began to question why their country was involved in such a distant conflict. The loss of so many lives and the unclear purpose of the war led to protests and a loss of trust in government leaders. This showed how the struggle to maintain a strong image could affect real people in very deep ways. Looking back, it becomes clear that the Vietnam War was more than just a fight against communism. It was a test of how far a country would go to protect its pride and reputation. The war revealed how difficult it can be to balance political goals with the human cost of conflict. In the end, the Vietnam War teaches us something important. Sometimes the reasons a country goes to war are not as simple as they seem. Political pride and the desire to appear strong can shape decisions just as much as the original cause. Understanding this can help us think more carefully about how nations make choices in times of conflict. So the next time you hear about the Vietnam War, remember that it was not just a battle against an idea. It was also a story about politics, pride, and the struggle to keep an image in a complicated world.